Child, I'm so excited about this next story. All right, listen up. Good Morning America fans are waking up to a scandal brewing behind the scenes of the show. The Daily Mail is reporting that co-hosts Amy Robach and T.J. Holmes are much more than colleagues and have been romantically, it's a nice way of saying cheating, involved since June. They're married to other people, so what do you, yes, the scandal, the juicy, the tea is hot. So what do we think is going to happen?
Can we just talk about the inside baseball of this? Like, this is kind of, even though we don't know these people and it's not our network, we do consider this our business for those of us who are on TV. So this is kind of like your colleagues or people in your workplace doing what they're doing, right? So everybody's group chat.
Doing the dirty.
Yes.
Everybody's group chat has been blowing up, and we all have kind of contacts in the business. And so when this blew up, like, I contacted the people I know in New York, and I was like, tell me everything. And so certain people were like, well, I did think it was weird, you know, when we were shooting with them in the summer, and like TJ would be eating something and Amy would be like, I want some, and he'd put it in her mouth. And they'd always show up at the same place. Like for meetings, they'd show up together at the same time. And then, you know, if there were after work events, they'd go to those after work events and they'd always kind of get up to leave at the same time. And now I guess for a lot of people, they're putting it together like, I see you, I saw you, and now I see you.
But I will say it's convenient, and maybe why it maybe slid under the rug for a little while is because I did morning show TV for many, many years, and it's a really difficult shift. You're usually up at 2 or 3 in the morning, and you don't have a normal life because your life, your daytime schedule doesn't align with anybody. But it does happen to align with your co-hosts. And so it's easy to move around and be like, oh, you going to the gym after work? Let's go to the gym after work because it's 10 o'clock, we're done work. Like, it's really easy to have this hidden for a long time. Showing up at meetings together, going and leaving together. You can actually make really good excuses because you're trying to develop behind the scenes, the chemistry that people want to see on screen. And if you guys watch morning TV, it's a different space. It's very intimate. You could actually be getting changed, brushing your teeth, and have it on. It feels like you are inviting these people into your home, so you have to like them, love them, trust them, because you're seeing me naked while I'm brushing my teeth. It's a different relationship. So people love these two together. They do the third hour on Good Morning America together. And I know, having done morning TV for so long, you do want to make sure that that chemistry is real. Not this real.
Yeah, I was like,
but you do want to make it real. They just probably crossed the line too. They just crossed the line.
That is the thing, right? When we talk about the weirdness of being at work and having people together that you don't know how to interact with, there are power imbalances. When you talk about the hiddenness of it, the extramarital affair, extramarital is not the thing I have a problem with. Because if they had a conversation with their partners, this was all on the level, everyone knew what was going on, that's very different. It's the affair part. It's the lying, the hiding. I think of being an adult as having responsibility to yourself and the people around you. That's what being an adult is. It's saying, I have desire for someone else. How do we negotiate this? Or being at work and saying, hey, this relationship is changing in a way that we need to have a new conversation about. That's what being grown is about. And when you hide and you lie and other people have to sit there and decipher what exactly is going on. We've all been through this before, where friends get together and you're like, wait, what? How has this changed, right? What is going on? There's a responsibility here that I think that's the problem.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And as a person who works in news, there's another point that I'm really shocked at these two, because they're at the top of their game working in this field. It doesn't get bigger or better than Good Morning America. And for you, not only the cheating and what you've done to your family, because they have children, and this is reverberating. When you cheat and you get caught, it reverberates not just the two of you, but your children, your spouses, your families, your co-workers. Everybody has to deal with this and pick up the pieces and deal with what you guys thought was a little fun tryst. But I'm looking at these two people and thinking, well, for what you do as a news anchor, your credibility is everything. And now, after 20-something years in your field, it's done. And I don't know how hot and steamy this affair was, but was it really worth your career? Because I have a hard time thinking that ABC is gonna put these two people back on air on the show that they host together called GMA3. It comes on at 1 o'clock. Don't watch it, watch The Social, right? And because these people talk to doctors, they talk to politicians, they have serious conversations. If they put them back on the show, are we ever gonna be listening to the conversation? Or are we gonna be paying more attention to the little friction between the two of them going, oh, you see that? You see what he just did there? You see the way she... And I'm looking at these two and I'm just, like, these are people, they come from MSNBC, CNN, like their resumes are stacked. And I'm just wondering, they both have wiped their social medias clean. They're not on the air today, because trust me, I got up early in the morning to see. No one talked about it. None of the other stations talked about it. And I'm just looking and I'm just scratching my head going, what were they thinking? What's this going to turn into? And I know there was another situation similar to this back in 2016 on MSNBC. Morning Joe is the name of the show. The two hosts were married to other people and then they got together. And it turned into a little bit of a snafu, but they got ahead of the story. First of all, they didn't get caught by the tabloids. They actually came out and said, we have left our spouses and we're together, and they got married 2 years later. The problem with Amy and T.J. Homewrecker is that they got caught and they're in the tabloids. There's no way of cleaning this up. They've left their employer kind of hands tied, like, what are we supposed to do with this?
And there's a track record for this going up in flames. I actually do agree with you that they've blown up their careers. I don't think, to my point earlier about, you know, that intimate relationship you have with your viewers, viewers will never accept these two people because they didn't get ahead of the story. They didn't come to the viewers and say, hey, we want to tell you something. You had to see it, literally pictures of him tapping her on the butt, sneaking away for a little cottage getaway. It's like, that's gross for your children. That's gross for your spouses. And I don't think the viewers are gonna forgive them. And lest we forget, other morning show, like the whole show, The Morning Show, is based on the real life story of the Matt Lauer sex scandal. Where's Matt Lauer? Don't know, he'll never work again. And I think that, why? Because this scandal, you cannot take that relationship that you have built with your audience and take it for granted.
Exactly.
You've earned their trust, but now you've broken their trust. And so when you talk about Ann Curry, if you ever followed the story, Ann Curry was, they thought, the heir apparent when Katie Couric was retiring, and then they said, oh, Ann Curry's gonna become the co-host, and then Matt Lauer was like, heck no, she's not gonna become the co-host, and then we know his sex scandal. Charlie Rose, he was co-hosting with Gayle King on the CBS Morning Show. He was accused by at least 8 women of sexual misconduct. Those people are never to be heard or seen from again. I think TJ and Amy are done.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And just last word, you cannot be talking about newsmakers and then also become a newsmaker and expect to keep your job. Doesn't work.
I will say, like, I get it. I mean, I understand, like, how are the audience supposed to pay attention when these two people are carrying on an affair? But listen, for their careers to be over, like, you know, cheating on your spouse is not illegal. It's not sexual harassment. Like, Matt Lauer lost his job because he sexually harassed and allegedly assaulted people. I don't want to put that on the level as cheating on your spouse with your colleague.
I'll break it down to you really easy.
Not the same thing.
You cannot be a distraction. If you're a news anchor, you cannot be a distraction. You cannot be the story. You cannot, it's not about your personal life.
With your coworker. Like, can't they go their separate ways to separate networks and not team up? Like, can't, you know, TJ report on things just as TJ and Amy report on things just as Amy? Let me finish this. You know why? Because I don't want, if we get to a place where we say that certain jobs can't be done if the bedroom is involved, I think that sets a dangerous precedent, personally. Like, to me, I'm like, so what?
I would agree with you if they weren't at the very top of their field.
Doctors also need to be trusted. Doctors also need to be ethical. But I don't care if my doctor cheats on his wife or her husband. I think that as long as you have the skills to do the surgery, it's fine.
In a perfect world,
be more honest and open about our institutions and the relationships that we want, right? I mean, imagine the candor if they were like, we have desire outside of our marriages. We talk to our spouses. We talk to our kids. We talk to our coworkers. We're on the level. That would be mind-blowing.
That would
That'll
be
never
groundbreaking.
happen.
We are running out of time. They're telling us to wrap it up. Jamie, as always, a pleasure to have you here.
Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.